It's Motivational Monday. And with that being said, let's get into it. So today I will be talking about heaven or hell. You choose which one that you want to go to. And so from this, we are reading from Matthew 17:13 through 18, which I'll just give you a little bit a gist of what it is. It's when Jesus was telling us that how straight is the gate that leads to where it says in 13, it says, "Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it." And so what is basically saying is, everybody wants to enter into heaven. Everybody wants to make it to heaven, but they don't choose the right things to do to make it to heaven. Everybody wants to get to heaven, but they can't even worship God here on the earth. Everybody wants to make it into heaven to worship God for eternity, but we can't even worship God for a second, right? And so it's up to us. It's up to our choosing whether we go into heaven. It says in 15, "Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are wolves," right? "And by their fruit you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit, you will recognize them." It says in 21, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter into the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven." It says, "Many will say to me on that day, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles?' Then I will tell them plainly, 'I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers.'" And what God is saying that scares me. Like, I don't want to get to the kingdom of heaven, and I in the earth I'm casting out demons in Jesus' name, but I don't but never really having a relationship with him. I don't want to be using God to make it look like I can do all these miracles and then never having a relationship with him, never having studied his word, never having known his word. And so I don't want to get there. And he says that, "Apart from me, you never knew me." And in Galatians, it shows in Galatians 5:17 through 21, it's telling us to put away these evil things. It's telling us to put away the world. Everybody wants to follow the world and follow the trends and follow what's going on, but no one wants to follow God's way. No one wants to follow what others don't want to necessarily read or to do. So we have the book of the law, we have the Bible, we have what God is calling us to do and what he's asking of us to do. And in 17 it says, "For the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like. These things, right, of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in past, that they which do these things shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven. So those things in the Bible, it tells us not to follow the world. It tells us what not to do. It tells us that the drunkenness and murders, of course we know murders are, not of God, but even gluttony, like eating too much, being big backwardly, is not of the kingdom, is not what God has called us to do, is not giving back into what God has given us. We are God's creation. We were created by God. We were designed by God to do his blessed will and to share his word and to draw others unto him. But we also have to make sure that we are not following the things of the world, but we are following him so that we can inherit the kingdom, so that we can be in heaven. So it's up to us whether we choose to follow God or follow the world. And one way leads to heaven and one way leads to hell. So I want to do the best that I can to follow God's will and to follow what God has called me to do so that I can enter into the kingdom of heaven. So it's up to your choosing whether you enter into heaven or hell. You choose.